Or if you're listening to the podcast, you could just come over to the YouTube channel or website and show it. But anyways, what I wanted to share right now, there's a lot of information right here. I think it's really good, is an article I wrote. This was inspired by my business partner, Susan. And she said that I should write something directed right at CEOs, business owners, marketing managers, that is really definitive of, it's like marketing, online marketing 101. And I call it how to expect ROI from your online marketing efforts. And by ROI, I mean return on investments. Do you see it, Merle, the article?
I switched views. Yes, I do.
Okay. So again, CEOs, business owners, expect ROI from your online marketing efforts. This is at edwardscom.net. Scroll to the bottom. You will see the article. I will leave the note, the link in the show notes, but just a quick overview of what this is. I always have a policy of no geek speak. So I try to put things in the simplest words possible, but there's so many people, and I meet these people when I have interviews with, get referred to a new client. They are always in a state of either, well, I won't see these people, but I have this listed out. Denial, people that are in a state of denial. The internet's a fad. I don't want any part of it. And then they'll eventually work their way up to apathetic. I realize I'm neglecting this form of marketing. Someday I'll get to it. And then it gets to fearful. I'm going to do it, but I don't know how to get started, and I'm afraid of wasting money. And I deal with these people quite a bit. So this is for you guys out there that are interested in getting started, but you're afraid you don't know where to start. This is just your ground floor. And a lot of people, like marketing directors, get hired, and they've been doing things the old-fashioned way forever, and they're in the same situation. Now they're in charge of hiring, subbing out some online marketing stuff, and they don't know where to start. The worst thing you can do is just find the cheapest route possible, because you could end up creating Google penalties for yourself and creating a bigger problem than you should have. So the point is that you should see your new online marketing presence, your online presence, as you either see it as an asset that's going to create return on investment. If you don't see it that way, then it's a liability. And it's going to be a big liability, because you're going to go cheap and you're going to create problems for yourself. So this article explains the difference between online marketing and traditional marketing, and how you increase your traffic to your website organically, meaning non-paid. I'm a huge advocate of getting your website done correctly, with the content correct and the structure intact, before you go spending a ton of money on social media ads and Google AdWords. They're very, very expensive. And if you're not ready to convert as many as you possibly can of those, you're wasting a ton of money on a monthly basis. I hate to see that. I'd rather see you get started in getting a return on investment organically, meaning no further investments. That has to do with creating a good content marketing campaign. And now I talk about the difference between a website and your social media channels. Just briefly, a website is your headquarters. Social media channels are kind of like the roads that lead to and from your headquarters. And that's where you want to put out billboards. All right. That's content. That's just content that you trickle out there. Your website is a forever place. That's where you put your great content that is evergreen, that continues to build your search engine optimization, so you get found first up there. Social media posts, they're just fleeting. They're like going by a billboard. It's very fleeting, but it's necessary to advertise on them. So I go through the basic anatomy of a lead generating online presence. It consists of your website, your social media, as I said, your advertising, and an email campaign. And that is where you build your list, which is very important. So I talk about all of that and how you have to be super clear on your offers, how you got to create trust, and how you build your prospect list. Very, very important. So I then talk about how you improve your search engine ranking results, and the fuel for it is quality content. Very, very important. And to do quality content, you need a clear content marketing plan. It makes everything efficient. So this isn't rocket science. It's all right here laid out for you. Okay. So your web development is your priority number one, that you don't get penalized. If you're a DIYer, you're probably going to copy content from other people's websites and you're going to get penalized for plagiarism. And it's a severe penalty and you're just wasting your time. Or if you have somebody on the cheap doing that for you, you're wasting your money. So I then I just walk you through what I would call a brief look at online marketing 102. And that is sales funnels. I talk about that frequently. It's basically upselling. I talk about bad reviews and reputation management, just real briefly. Then I talk about backlinks. Like I said, I don't like to talk about geek speak and all of a sudden we're talking backlinks and we're on the verge of geek speak. Well, it's very necessary. It's very important to search engine optimization. So I give you an intro to that right there. It's 3 paragraphs and they're short paragraphs, so don't worry. Then I just tell you what to beware of. Scams like being held hostage. These are people that say, I'll create your online presence really cheap. You can find those everywhere, but they own it. They own the passwords, everything else. So from then on, you are getting charged like exorbitantly, either monthly or every time you ask for something. Now they have you held hostage. By the way, I learned a long time ago, building trust with your clients is worth way more than doing things the wrong way, as in this negative thing of being held hostage. I create a Dropbox for my clients. And as I create social media channels for them, all these different things they have to do with their website, I keep all of those passwords and everything in a note, in a page of notes that is in that Dropbox that they have access to at all times.
That and everything gives them the ability to make changes.
They could if they want. What it gives them is the ability to go somewhere else anytime they want
and use the passwords.
Yeah. If they're like, they don't like what I'm doing, they can call someone else and say, I got everything right here.
Give them
everything
access.
You need.
Got it. Yeah.
So it's all about trust and I got to earn my keep.
Yep.
And so then I'm coming close to the end here. I talk about how you measure effectiveness to ensure that you're getting a return on your investment. Now, this is what, when you're working with somebody, they should be telling you this, okay? But I'm just giving you some knowledge here. This is what you should expect. When you get a proposal for somebody to put together your web presence, they should be saying, hey, if you're going to spend $6,000 to $8,000, then I expect you to be in the black because of leads coming in. You got to figure out how much evaluation is. Like if you're a dentist, a lead may equal about $400 a year per client that you get out of it. Same with like a auto repair shop or something. So then you got to figure out, well, how many leads does it take to get me in the black? And then get me out of the red and into the black, and a good web, what would I want to say? Online marketer should be able to put that together for you. And so that is all laid out for you. And then you can then from there talk about a phase 2 about doing a content marketing plan that, okay, so now if you're getting say 10 leads a month in, phase 2 should be to try to double or triple that. And that's nice. Now you can once again measure when you get in the black, and now you're making big money off of your web presence. So that's the bottom line. Don't be penny wise and dollar foolish. Get positive ROI from your lead generation. And that's what I got for you.
You know what, Barry? All of this is just great inside baseball for business people to see exactly the power of having an online presence. And, one of the things that you had mentioned is that it's more important to do it right than just to go out there and do some stuff and reach out there. And so many times I've been interested in a product or a service, and somehow I was driven to a website that they had, and the website just flopped. Just hard to find information, hard to figure out exactly what they do. And here, whatever they invested into that website, they lost on me. And not only that, it has a psychological effect on the
You'll
person
never be
driven to the
back.
site. Is, yeah, why would you ever go back there again? You've
No.
lost that customer for potential customer for life.
Yeah.
And so I really believe what you're saying, Barry, is such precious information, especially for those people in those first couple of categories you had at the beginning of your article, which, there's people out there like that, and they don't understand the power of what you're talking about, especially today.
Yeah. And with what you said right there, you have 2 seconds to sell. All right. As soon as you get to a website, you're looking for something in particular. So you Google something and you pull up like 3 to 4 competitors all up in tabs. That's what most people do. So somebody lands on your site and your offerings, you got 2 seconds to buy another 2 seconds. So you better put up right in front of their face what you are about, what you are selling, so that you can then have them take a look at your services. Now, if they like your services, because they're nice, clean, and easy to read, then they'll go to your about page, because now they're looking for trust. Like, who are you? What are you about? And can I trust you? And so it's those kind of things that you need to know in order to do this correctly. And as you said, if you want to go for the lowest price, you are going to have somebody that gives you a bad structure, gives you bad. It's so much about content, doing your content right, niching down your services correctly. And everybody's like, oh, but I could offer them so much more. I do so much more. Put your 3 best, biggest things out there that you're an expert on first. And then when you win trust with them, they'll ask you what else that you offer. That's very important. Right. People seem, it's kind of like, I don't know, a recovery group or something. You can't do it on your own. You need support, because you're going to put everything out there for sure.